Hey everybody, just want to do like a really quick update, and then kind of go into like a little bit of a story mode. Surgery is next week, 8 days from now, and nose is finally going to be worked on after all of this time. So kind of nervous, but I'll get through it. Um, so kind of going along with some of the things that I have been talking about with, throughout all of these videos that I've been doing over the last couple of years, almost 3 years now. Um, One thing I haven't really talked about is bowling. And for those of you who know me, you know that I have been big into bowling, to the point where one year I was actually doing 5 nights a week. Um, and had a little bit of a burnout there. And the last few years before the accident, I was doing 2 nights a week and went down to one night a week. Uh, just so that it didn't feel like it was work. Because when you're doing something that you enjoy, that's why you do it, because you enjoy it. Um, and when it starts feeling like work, that's when you need to stop. And bowling in a way had actually kind of become that, because I had to work at everything, there in those later years. But I was still doing tournaments. My national tournament I have now done for 23 straight years, something I am extremely proud of. But I had also done state tournaments and local tournaments, and even traveled a little bit, uh, depending on the tournament itself. I used to do the Thanksgiving Day tournament down in Muncie. Um, I was always doing the Adams County tournament every year, because I was very hands on there, because I was on the board of directors for, oh man, many years. Even served as president for 3 of those years. Uh, but then the accident happened and everything came to a stop. Um, the accident happened on December 16th, and then at the end of March, I was actually practicing. 3 months later, um, and I was practicing because in May I had my national tournament, and I was talking to the doctors, and they said, we honestly don't see any reason why you can't go. If go ahead and start practicing. So I did, uh, and I did very well that year. Then last year, I took the full year off, took 12 months off, and then last year in May I started practicing for June. So I would practice for a month and go out to Reno. And again, not one of the best years, but one of my better years. I think it was a top 10 year, uh, maybe, if I remember right. And I thought, this is good. And I took a whole year off, which was really nice. So I decided to do the same thing this year, because I wasn't going to be doing the tournament until July. So I thought, okay, in June, I'll start practicing, and which giving me another 12 months off. And having that time off for bowling has been really nice. And then this year I started practicing. This time, because before I would go to MVP Lanes here in Fort Wayne, but this year I started going down to Decatur, which has been like my home. Um, so I would practice twice a week: Tuesday nights in Decatur, Fridays in Fort Wayne. Kind of like doing how I used to do for my league, because I would have at one time Tuesday night league in Decatur and Friday night league in Fort Wayne. So this is bringing back a lot of those memories, and And the plan was the same, that after I got done with nationals this year, I would stop bowling until a month before next year's tournament and start practicing. But next year's tournament is in March, so sometime in February was the original plan. Sometime in February to start practicing. But there was a little bit of a hiccup this year. So when I started practicing, I was getting a pain in my wrist. So like right here. Hard to be able to really show it, but it's the ligament going from the thumb to the wrist there on the side of the arm. It was really strained, and it made during the tournament this year very difficult. And this year I had actually one of my worst years ever. The first day was great. That was because we only did 3 games and we had 10 people on the lane. The next day we did 6 games with 4 people on the lane, on the pair, which made it much quicker pace, and that was what got me. By the time we were done, I was just slowly going up to the foul line and just tossing that ball because it was hurting my wrist so much. Still broke 100 every game. I can say that at least. I saw my family doctor last week and explained everything to him. He thinks I just strained the tendon. Just give it some time. Probably by the end of September, I won't even know that it was ever in pain. So what I'm going to do is, I think a couple times a month, starting in September, depending on how I feel after the nose, is I'm going to start practicing and just practice a couple times a month all the way up until nationals next year, just so that I can try to keep that rhythm and to keep my wrist in that kind of a motion and being able to support the weight of the ball, because my bowling balls are 15 pounders. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because next year the national tournament in March is going to be in Baton Rouge, and I'm looking forward to that because I've been there twice already. I've always enjoyed my time being there. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to make the decision on, okay, what I'm going to do for the following year. And in talking about making decisions, ever since the accident, I have been off of leagues, period. And every year, I get asked, hey, are you going to come back? Are you going to come back? Are you going to be able to bowl? And it's always been, no, not this time, or I don't know yet. Well, I know that I'm not going to be doing any league bowling for the 2024-25 season. But if all goes the way that I think it's going to go, I think I'll be able to come back to league bowling in September of 2025. I think I'll be able to finally start getting back into league bowling there. I'm going to try to work on that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to, take my time, rebuild the stamina and the strength to be able to throw a bowling ball on a regular basis. Because practicing and doing the national tournament has been rough. It's just that this year was worse than the other two by far. So I'm going to work on that so that I can try to start doing league bowling for the season of 2025-26. That's the goal. I'm going to work on that goal and see if I can do it. So meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'll try to sneak in another video before surgery next week. But anyway, I'll check in with you guys later.